Little Sisters of Hoboken from Nunsense, and we're on the Stage Door Show Pandemic Theater, and you're watching us now with Tom and Dave.
Yay! The Stage Door Show, celebrating the independent artist, with Dave Homdell and Tom Klein.
Dave, you're back.
Hey, Tom. You've never looked better.
Thank you. I don't know if you know this. You have to wear a mask. It's a law.
Yeah.
To prevent the spread of the disease. And I figure why not go colorful if you go big or go home.
Well, that makes sense. And you're in Florida. Nobody's going to turn ahead anyway. So right?
No. Like I said, I like to wear this sometimes to the pet supermarket.
You went to Disney as well?
Yes, Disney. A lot of times I get my picture taken with Pluto and the kids. It's a wonderful thing, and they all seem to love it.
That's awesome.
I get autographs.
We got episode 2 tonight.
We got episode 2 of the Pandemic Theater, and tonight we're going to have the nuns from Nunsense, along with director Jan Sheldon and musical director Dan Martin are going to be here too.
Incredible.
And we're going to talk to the nuns and see what they're up to and what their show's all about. So
and this is a perfect show because we need the higher power with what's going on in the world, so maybe they can help us out.
Absolutely. But if you're not wearing a mask, I think I'm gonna. You told me last time I can't get the virus, the COVID.
No, you can't. Yeah, I think you're okay to take it off. Okay. There you are.
I am putting a hat on because, like I said, every day in pandemic land is a bad hair day for me. So.
You know what I did with mine, Tom? Is I actually.
Yes, you went.
Yeah, I went to Walmart and I got a clipper and I did it myself. So I missed a few spots in the back, but we're not going to turn my head, so we're good.
Good call. And I admire you for doing your hair. I can't imagine. Mine would.
I offered to do the family's hair too, but they absolutely. I don't know why they said no. I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm guessing that they have better sense than you and I. So, well, listen, it looks like the cast from Nunsense is in the waiting room. So, what do you say we go ahead and bring them in?
Let's do this thing.
Okay. Welcome everybody to Pandemic Theater. This is episode 2 for the Stage Door Show's Pandemic Theater, and we are here with the nuns of Nunsense.
Hey.
Along with the director of the show and the musical director of the show, Dan Martin and Jan Sheldon. I said that backwards. Jan's the director, Dan's the musical director. And what convent, what church are you guys at? Mother Superior, what is the name of the church you guys all belong to?
Well, we're the Little Sisters of Hoboken from Hoboken, New Jersey.
Right over by me.
Yes, that's where Dave is. He's probably right around the corner. You may see him at church soon.
Hey.
Or in confession.
More like confession, probably, yes.
Yes. And Jan, as a director, why don't you introduce our nunnery?
So Sister Mary Regina, Mother Superior, and Sister Robert Ann. She drives the car and fixes it.
I do.
That's what I want exactly.
There's Sister Mary Amnesia, who a crucifix on her head. She has no idea who she is. There's Sister Mary Hubert, who's Sister Regina's right-hand lady. Wants to be number 2, wants to be number 1. And then there's Sister Mary Leo, who doesn't believe you cannot be a ballerina and a nun at the same time. She's still a conduit. She's still a conduit.
Yes. Well, welcome, ladies, sisters. And as somebody who grew up in Catholic school, I kind of miss people like you. It's been a long time. Some of them were cruel, but you all look sweet. Mother Superior, tell us about yourself. How did you become a nun? What's your story?
Well, you see, I wasn't always a nun. I used to be a tightrope walker. I'm not making this up now. I was. And then one day, my parents were on the tightrope. Well, they had an unfortunate accident and fell into the river. And I said to God at that time that if he saved them, I would become a nun. So I did. Now, who would have expected them to make it?
Yeah, that's a gamble that you take, and you think, yeah, I'm safe.
I wouldn't change a thing.
Now, let me ask Sister Robert Ann, as the bus driver and the auto mechanic of the convent, tell me about yourself.
Yeah, well, I actually grew up in Brooklyn, and I apparently misbehaved a lot. I just got myself in a lot of trouble. My parents were around a lot, so I found myself in some sticky situations. So I got sent to St. Clair's, and that's where I realized how special nuns are. There was one nun in particular that just kind of inspired me and kind of made me see that I could make something out of my life, and that just changed everything for me.
Nice.
Very nice.
Well, and I think a lot of nuns start off as kind of mean, nasty kids, and then they grow up. As Sister Hubert, you are her right-hand man, so tell me a little bit about yourself.
Oh, yes. Well, when I was a child, I always wanted to enter the convent and move up the ladder to Mother Superior.
Oh, nice.
I didn't get quite that far yet.
Yet?
You're still young.
Thank you.
Well, you're number 2 with a bullet right now. So one day you'll get
One day. Right, Regina?
And
One day.
Mhm.
Not soon, I hope. I have my mask.
yes, with the world being what the world is right now, that day could be here sooner than later. Sister Amnesia.
Yes.
That is your name. How did you come to be at this particular convent?
I don't know.
What's the last thing you remember, even?
I don't know.
You're gonna
I
be
don't remember. They told me a crucifix fell on my head, and now I can't remember anything.
A large crucifix? Because I'm thinking not just one of the.
Yes, apparently I was walking into the convent to join, and the crucifix fell on my head.
But
Wow.
you're here, and that's all that matters.
We're glad you're here. We're glad you're here.
It was sort of a miracle, I guess.
Yay!
And Sister Leo, so you wanted to be a ballerina? Or you still want to be a ballerina? Or there was a singing nun, but there's not been a dancing nun.
Correct. And in fact, I am a dancer. So I'm the novice nun here in the convent, and I have just had this passion, this dream of being the first nun ballerina. I'm going to be famous, y'all. I'm so excited.
Oh, I guess Broadway does not have one of you. The Sound of Music is waiting for you to.
That's right.
I am
always a first.
Maria on steroids.
Well, and one of the things that's just really almost either a coincidence, an act of God, but he brought all of you together into this convent, and all of you are very good singers, from what I understand, from what Jan and Dan have told me. I mean, don't be shy about it, but and we were hoping that you gals would not mind singing a little snippet. Let the audience know why they should come see you, and they should come see you. I've seen this show before, and it is hilarious. It's gorgeous musically. And you get a chance right now to show our audience how talented all of you are. Jan and Dan, why don't you tell us which of these lovely nuns you want to sing their song for us first?
Oh, well, you always have to start with the Mother Superior. She's the boss. She's the boss lady.
Yes. So Mother Superior, we will be starting with you.
Well, you know, everyone should come see our show because we do have to raise funds, you know, for the 4 dead sisters that are in the freezer. So we do need people to come to our show. So we're going to sing our little hearts out for you all. and it gives me a chance to be on stage again. So I'm going to sing for you my song about the spotlight because I don't get a chance to be in the spotlight a lot. So this is my song. Are you ready?
I'm ready. When you're ready.
We're ready.
I'm ready. I see the spotlight, and though it's not right, I simply can't resist its call. For some nuns, it's bingo at the parish hall. Turn up the spotlight, and I have a ball. I lose my head then. I know I'm dead when I get to hear that laughter roar. Please forgive me, but don't you know it's a lot more fun than bingo.
Hey! And I do, let me say too, I do love the view of Brady Bunch nuns because when we talked about it, just look side to side, look up and down. There you all are. Here's the story of some lovely ladies.
Well, I have a question for Mother Superior. That was a beautiful song, by the way.
Oh,
but
thank you.
I have a whole new, I guess, outlook on what nuns are like, because what I heard is that when somebody does something wrong, you take a ruler to the knuckles. Is that just a story, or does that really happen, or is this something that?
No, Sister Amnesia would be able to tell you about that a little bit. She's been practicing with her ruler.
Oh, okay.
We do that.
I am here to attest it's a real thing.
It's a real thing?
Yes, I was beaten in the hallway by my Mother Superior.
Oh, no.
Both hands. I was expelled for drawing a picture in first grade that they deemed inappropriate. That was really I was just trying to be funny.
You want to know what it was?
No, and Mother Superior completely took it a different direction.
Oh, no.
Well, we promise we won't be hitting anyone with rulers.
That's good. That's good.
Flicker, but not a ruler.
That's great.
Is Amnesia doing? Oh, that was the ruler. You were doing the ruler thing.
The ruler.
I do it to myself, though. I don't do it to anybody else. I do it to myself.
Self-flogging, yes. So Jan, who do we have up next?
Well, I'd like to hear from Sister Hubert.
Yes, she is the number 2 nun, so that
she's always trying to be number one.
Yes, number 2 tries harder.
Yes.
As Reverend Mother second in command, I am usually cleaning up messes in the convent. And, well, have a number prepared for those times when we need to get things back on track. And I like to tackle temptations with the time step. You see, if ever you are tempted to transgress, remember this: an idle mind is where the devil works. So in my analysis, if busy hands are happy hands, then dancing feet are bliss. So tackle that temptation with a time step, not a 1-step or a 2-step, but a time step. And if it's not enough, then go and shuffle out to Buffalo. Well, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yay.
Come see the show to really see me do a time step.
That's true. And I understand, if I'm not mistaken, you are holier than thou, correct?
How did you know?
I just had a feeling. And it's the big closing number anyway, so.
I'm going to save that for the audiences to come and see in person.
I think that is a very good call, because to me, that is my favorite song in the whole show. And it's a rousing number.
Oh, well, thank you.
So,
Regina.
Jan and Dan, who do you want to go with next? And I would think it would be somebody who is having a hard time remembering things.
Let's do Sister Amnesia.
Yeah.
Yes.
Before she forgets her lines.
Yes.
Sometimes in the morning, before the first bell rings, I lay here wide awake wondering all kinds of things, like who I am and what I'd be if I were not a nun. I suppose I could be anything. But if I could be anyone, I'd like to be a country singer like Loretta Lynn, with a deluxe Winnebago that I would travel in. I'd have wigs like Dolly Parton. I might even pierce my ears. I'd have rhinestone-covered cowboy boots and a sequin gown from Sears.
Yay!
Hey, all right.
I'm happy you remembered all the lyrics. You know,
Yeah.
There's a lot more.
well, and it seems like you're at least some of your memories coming back. So that is a good thing. It's a miracle, really.
It is a miracle.
So let's move on then. So Dan,
Yes.
we've heard from Amnesia. Which of the other nuns, Robert Ann, Leo, who would you like to have sing for us next so that the audience can hear these voices?
Let's hear Robert Ann next. I
Yeah,
think.
she's always interrupting everyone, so you might as well let her go.
Okay,
Sister
Robert
Jan.
Ann, Sister Robert Ann. Tell us about yourself and what you're going to sing.
Well, actually, I'm not technically in the show. I'm actually the understudy. I guess Reverend Mother didn't think that my audition was as strong as some of the other sisters, even though I sing all the time, but I guess it just wasn't quite up to par. But just in case, I need to fill in, and I do need to sing a song. I did prepare a number, so I hope I get to do this in the show as an understudy. When I became a nun at a very early age, I had to choose between the convent and a life upon the stage. So when Reverend Mother said we're putting on a show, I must tell you, I was thrilled to death. I couldn't wait to go. So I really hope I get to go and sing that whole song in the show. I'm really hoping. I don't want anything to go wrong in the show, but I also want to sing the song. So it's hard.
Well, you sounded great. Reverend Mother, I will say that I think she should be in the show. So, and there's a really lovely song that I've heard in a show like this show that I think Robert Ann might be perfect for. So
We'll see. We'll talk about that later.
The audience wants her. And Jan and Dan, that leaves one young sister left, I believe.
Yes. Sister Leah.
Yeah, last but not least.
So, Sister Leah, we are going to go to you.
So I'm going to give you a little piece of what I do every morning. It's how I get in the right headspace, and how I pray is by dancing. Dancing is the way I pray. I can have a perfect day if I start off with the torgite. So if you wake up feeling blah, try my proven formula.
Yay!
Very good.
I was completely, you all are blessed with voices that are.
You are.
Yes.
You blew me away. That was awesome.
You're there, Reverend Mother. They think I can sing.
Well, we'll discuss it later, dear. We'll discuss it later.
So Dan is the director of the show. Dan Martin is the musical director. And why don't the two of you tell us about the show, where it's going to be, what people can expect. Obviously, right now when it's going to happen is tentative. But tell us about the show. Your thoughts on the show, Jan. I know you love the show and have forever. But give us a little history from you guys.
Well, for me, this is the second or third time I've directed the show, and I was Robert Ann twice and Sister Mary Regina once. So I love this show. And we're going to be performing at the Claremont Performing Arts Center for the first time. And it's presented by the Moonlight Players, a group that I started in 1994. So I'm really excited that we're trying something different for a change. And Dan and I have worked together for 15 years. So I'm thrilled to have him on board again. And he can tell you about his history with the show.
Yes.
Okay, well, I first fell in love with the show. Oh goodness, it's probably been 25, 30 years ago. When I was living in Boston, we went to see a production of it that was starring Pat Carroll. And if you don't know who she is, she's the voice of Ursula in The Little Mermaid.
Oh,
And
wow,
she
really?
was fabulous. And of course, it was at this little kind of club place. So we had a few drinks, and it was extremely funny. And so I've just been in love with the show ever since. I've provided the music for it one other time. I've seen it several times, and I'm just excited to be part of it again. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I will say I'm really, really looking forward to seeing all of you girls in the show. Like I said, the time I saw it before, Jan was the one where she was Mother Superior. She was hilarious. I told Jan the other day that was kind of when I went, oh my God, she can really act. She can act, she can sing. The one part where Mother Superior kind of loses it, she was amazing at. And Mary Regina, I am looking forward to seeing you pull that one off too. That's a hoot.
He's going to be great.
Favorite part.
Yeah.
I would imagine, yes.
I want to say something here, and this is personal to me and my family, but Jan, you were one of the first people when we moved to Claremont, Florida back in 2003. And I walked into, Claremont, Florida, for those that don't know, it was back in the day, it was a very small town, a lot of citrus groves, and there wasn't a lot of business there, and very small downtown. And when we first moved there, I walked in just exploring downtown, and I walked into the theater, and Jan was one of the first people I met in Claremont. And from that point forward, my son and my daughter have done a lot of shows, and really because of you, Jan, my kids became interested in the theater, the arts, and they did so many great productions. And my son, he got bullied a lot in school, but it was because of the theater, and it was because of Moonlight Theater that he gained the confidence that he needed to get through a lot of the bullying. So I can't thank you enough for what you've done for my
So now I gotta
and my
cry
family. So I'm trying to hold it together myself, but I had to say that on the show because it meant so much to me and my family.
Well, I love your kids.
Yeah, I
Great
got to work
kids.
with your kids several times too. So.
Absolutely,
I think-
absolutely. You all have, you all have, and but it's just the fact of walking into that theater, and it's just meant so much to my family.
Actually, they were both in Denise. They were both in Damn Yankees.
Yes.
Yep, they were.
And Eric was in Willy Wonka.
Yes, he was in my spam a lot too when we did it. So
Yeah, they did a lot of different shows there, and so we're so happy and so glad that you guys could be on the show tonight, because your theater means so much to me and my family, and just everybody in that whole area is just it's a gem. And anybody who's watching this, you're going down once this is all over, and people go down to Disney and Universal, whatever. You have to take a side trip to Claremont and visit the Moonlight Players theater, because it really is it's a gem for sure.
And keep in mind, this particular show is going to be at the Claremont Performing Arts Center, which is a first for Moonlight. It's on Highway 27, a little bit south of 50, I guess, actually getting down towards Lake Louisa. But you guys are groundbreaking for that. This is our first chance to get in.
Oh, that's great.
Right.
Which is
awesome.
Yeah.
That's very big. Yeah, I just want to thank everybody for doing this. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dave.
Costumes.
Girls, and we'll see you there whenever it happens, for sure.
Yep.
And looking forward to it. But thank you so much. And we will see
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Goodbye.
So, I've known Reverend Mother a long time, but sometimes I just don't think she understands me. Like, all I do is just try to add some fun and some light into the convent, and just might be silly sometimes. What's the matter with that, right?
Okay. So, I don't like to talk bad about anybody. But sometimes I feel like Robert Ann has it in for me because she wants to be in the show. So I'm keep looking over my shoulder to see if she's coming at me with a bat or something. But yeah. Okay, thanks.
Mother Superior bought a 3D HD flat screen TV for the convent before we buried the other sisters. If I was in her position, I would have buried the sisters first before I bought the TV, but you know what? I digress. I'm only number 2 in this situation.
Let me tell you about Hubert. This girl, I think she has like a second best complex. I mean, she never smiles. Give the girl a solo.
Well, it's not that anybody would blame me, but, you know, Sister Amnesia is such an airhead that sometimes I wish when she finds out who she really is, she finds out she was a Franciscan.
Please come see the Little Sisters of Hoboken in Nunsense at the CPAC, the Claremont Performing Arts Center. For dates and times, you can contact the Claremont Performing Arts Center or go on the website or the moonlightplayers.com website or Facebook. Support the local arts